the question on YouTube, is it possible to learn more than one martial art at a time? The answer is yes. Now, I'm going to qualify what I'm saying so that there is no confusion. And I don't really care what people's opinions are because opinions usually are based on biases. And I try to stray away from using the expression my opinion. I don't want to say my opinion. I will usually say, in most instances, my viewpoint. Sounds better to me anyway, but that's brother teacher. So, can you learn more than one martial art? First of all, I've studied many martial arts styles slash systems myself. Coming up, I've had people who were jealous of me because I was trained in more than one art and they were specifically doing one thing. And this is not necessarily true across the board and across the planet, but this was my experience. And they were to a great degree jealous of me because I did other things that they were not familiar with or they did not know. And I went through a struggle over the years as a young martial artist with people who they at a distance really admired what I was doing, but at the same time I was not part of the status quo. Okay, because I chose to be independent and to be me. So, getting back to the original question, can you study and learn more than one martial art? I'll say that by saying this. My great grandmaster in Taekwondo and Tong Sudo, Kwan Wan An, he told me at one time when I was much older and I used to go and visit him at his school before he retired, he said, it's hard enough learning one martial art and here you are doing several. He said, that's amazing, that's very good. Now here's a man who studied exclusively the Korean martial art of Taekwondo and Tong Sudo. Okay, now, even he didn't say it couldn't be done, but he said he commended me for studying the things that I was studying. So I want to qualify this even more as it relates to me. I personally have never studied from beginning to end all of the system that I embarked on. In other words, let me say this. If there are 5 martial arts styles or systems, and the highest rank in all of those systems, let's say, hypothetically speaking, is 10th degree black belt. So let's say you have 5 arts, 10th degree, 10th degree, 10th degree, 10th degree, 10th degree. Okay, I have never studied all 5 of those arts to the point of 10th degree. But I have studied those arts to the part or the point of instructor level and even master and grandmaster level. Because at a certain point in most traditional martial arts, especially karate, there are degrees that are given to you that are complementary. They're just because of time and service. So in other words, if you receive a black belt in one karate system or style, let's say Shodan, and you receive 2nd degree, 3rd and 4th Dan, which is master in some systems, and 5th Dan in some other systems, why do you need the other 10 degrees? Unless you want to be loyal to that system until the day you die. That's not me. That's never been me. So what I have done in my lifetime in terms of me studying the martial arts, brother teacher that I've received mastership in the arts that I have studied, and I decided that's enough. I don't need to have these additional degrees because I've had 15 years in, 20 years in, 30 years in. It's not important to me. Never ever has been. What's important to me is what fulfills me as an individual and as a human being. So what I've done instead myself is I've taken those things rather that were useful for me and my system, the principal things in each art, and I've assimilated them. I have combined them. For example, in karate that I have studied, in Tang Sudo and Taekwondo that I have studied, I've incorporated the kicks and the strikes to include some of the throws or sweeps, if there are any involved. I've incorporated those in my system for brother teacher and what I give to my students. And in studying judo and jiu-jitsu, I have taken the chokes, the arm locks, wrist locks, leg locks, the throws, the sweeps, and I've extracted those and I've combined it to the karate side. And in the kung fu, I've taken the Wing Chun and I've taken the concepts, the principles of Wing Chun. I've taken the four corner theory, the center line, all of the sows, the bong sao, the tan sao, the pak sao, the tak sao, the BG, and all of the other techniques and the stances and the principles and the concepts, and I've combined them with the karate and the jiu-jitsu. And on. The other arts that I have studied, I have extracted the things that benefit me, and I've combined them all together. And that is how I could effectively use all of those arts together, synthesized, if you will. And that is how I have studied several martial arts. Now, my great grandmaster, who I mentioned earlier, he said it normally takes a lifetime to learn one art. He is correct. He is absolutely positively correct. If you want to learn the history, the tradition of an art, and all of the different levels that the founder has established for that particular art, it does take a lifetime. But let me tell you this, I'm not Japanese. I don't want to know from beginning to end a Japanese culture that's not mine. I'm not Chinese. I don't want to know from the beginning to the end the history and or the culture that is not mine. If I'm Korean, or if I'm Taiwanese, or a Thailander, or whatever, Cambodian, whatever the martial art is, I don't want to learn the history and the culture from the beginning to the end, because that's not my culture. That's their culture. So those things that I can benefit from their culture, I take in or extract those to benefit brother teacher. This is my take on the martial arts. If you are born in Japan, that's where you were born. That's what you know. That's your culture. And if you choose, or if you're made to study martial arts in Japan, that's your culture. That's what you know. That's what you do. But if you're born on another place, or in another place on a planet in another country, that's your culture. So there's no rule anywhere on planet Earth that says that I have to learn your complete culture. Because when I learn your complete culture, I may be losing my own. You follow? I don't want to dismiss my own culture, because I have one as well. So I hope that answers the question about one being able to study more than one martial arts. If you want to study the full martial art style or system, it will indeed take a lifetime, if that's what you choose to do. It's going to be more of a task, more of a challenge for you to do that because you're studying the complete martial arts style. I chose not to. I don't want to involve myself in one particular system or style of martial arts for 30 years of my life at the exclusion of all of the other beauty and all of the other beautiful martial arts systems and styles that exist. I'm going to take something from each one because they all have something of value to offer. It's really that simple. It's plain and simple. So it is possible to study more than one martial arts, just like it's possible to know 5 and 6 and 7 languages and speak fluently. I have friends who can speak 6 and 7 and 8 languages fluently. Fluently, right off the rip. I have friends who are carpenters, who are also electricians, and who are also plumbers. They know all 3 trades, and they can do them all equally well. I know people who play drums, guitar, keyboards, saxophone. They can play all of the instruments. So to say that you can't learn more than one thing at a time is foolish. This is Brother Teacher. Let me know what you think. See you the next time. All right, so long.